We often hear why it's important to be fearless in business. Being fearless often means you will charge ahead and live with the consequences no matter what happens. Most of the time, these consequences, if they go bad, really aren't all that bad. So in this video, I want to talk with you about what it takes for your people and even you to become fearless in how you approach your work. Now, the first step is having your team members feel that they don't have to protect themselves when things go wrong. This is otherwise known as making a mistake. You really don't want your people to feel like they have to protect themselves when things go south. If this happens, you often see mistakes being hidden, and when that happens, they just get worse. When I first went into business, I was a horrible boss, and the reason I was a horrible boss, there was no way in the world anybody was ever going to tell me the truth about what was really going on. I had to find it myself. And the reason was really simple. Whenever anybody told me something went wrong, I would absolutely explode. I would explode at them, I would explode at their coworkers, but I would never explode at myself. I never took my finger and pointed at me. I just pointed at other people on the outside. And you know what happened about when that happens? Nothing. Nobody ever told me when things went wrong. People used to think I had eyes in the back of my head, but that really wasn't true. It was just stuff I stumbled upon by accident. And then because nobody told me, I even got more and more angry. It never turned around until I stopped screaming at people. And then still, it took years and years and years and coaxing from me on a regular basis before anybody would ever really tell me what they thought. So the truth is, no one ever wants to admit they make a mistake. We seem to be hardwired to find all sorts of ways to deflect mistakes when they happen around us. I bet that when your team hides mistakes, you feel frustrated, angry, and even a little sad. You wish hiding mistakes didn't happen, but they do. The real issue here is when someone hides a mistake and you find out about it. You lose trust with that person, and it's not even their fault this happened. I know how frustrating this is because I've been there, and even today it occasionally happens. I've worked for years to drive fear out of the organizations I'm involved with. I'm a little more successful at this today than I was 30 years ago, and the truth is, it's still a work in progress for me. There are some things you can do to make it easier to drive out fear. So here are some of those things. Number one, start by talking openly about mistakes that have been made. Make sure you're talking about the mistakes you made and not mistakes made by others. If you're talking about mistakes made by others and you're bringing that out in the fore, you're just shaming them. When you talk about mistakes you made, you're using yourself as an example. Isn't that a better way to go? Number two, put on your superpower sensors and recognize when people are acting fearfully in your company. When you see people hesitate or you ask a question and they hem and haw, you can be pretty sure that person is probably scared of your reaction. So you might just want to say, hey, it seems to me that you're a little bit afraid or you're a little bit anxious about telling me what's really going on. I can promise you nothing bad is going to happen. I won't yell. You're not going to get fired. In fact, if you tell me about this, we can work on it together. Way different conversation you're going to have than when you say, geez, you made this mistake again and blah, 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 blah. You're a terrible person. They're never going to bring stuff up. But if you use option number one, they will eventually start coming around. And number three, when you see fear appear, take advantage of our 20-minute free call and strategize with us about what you can do. I'm not sure you'll ever completely drive fear out of your company. And at the same time, I think it's a really good goal to shoot for. When I say you, what I really mean is I'm not sure I'll ever drive fear completely out of my company, because the truth is I still come across pretty aggressively. I still am pretty frank, and it's hard for people to get used to. So I know you want to have your people stop hiding their mistakes. You can have one of my goals here. Working on having a company where mistakes are not feared and your team feels that bringing mistakes out in the open makes life better for everyone. Isn't that something you would want to have? So I would love to have a conversation with you about fear, what causes it, and how to decrease the amount of fear in your company. So feel free contacting me at jpatrick@stage2planning.com to set up a time to talk. In the meantime, if you're not ready to talk, download our free infographic on our Stage 2 delegation process. It's a simple process that will help you learn to delegate effectively in your company. And while you're at it, scroll down and let me know what you think about driving fear out of your company. Hey, this is Josh Patrick. You're at The Sustainable Business. Thanks a lot for stopping by. I hope to see you back here really soon.